be fine with their shoes to lick, but that's just it. Acting like she's the shit, would you not be jealous of it? But it's all a lie, all just a trick of the light. I can't accept this is right, I won't lay down and die. I'll let you steal what is rightfully mine. Every heart is hers, the worship she deserves. She's a flawless star, the most ultimate. I don't want her shine, she's perfect by design. An iconic light, we're born here tonight. You show no weakness, never let them see it. If you're less than perfect, best to keep it secret. Be the one and only, just believe it, leave it. That's the purest love you'll ever find. With a smile setting fire to the media lies a secret I will keep, cause I'm no amateur. I'm in love with you, my career is built on such a lie. It's the only way I know to show my love and life. Running down my face, I swear to clear blue aqua. Ruby eyes that do disguise like secrets, keep them hushed. I sing, I'm dancing for the masses, call me Maria. Yes, flying really is the greatest kind of love. I have no idea what love is even like. Is it something you give, or is it something you find? All the lies I tell, I hope that they come true. May they find their own light and be brought to life. So give me your applause, cause I will have it all. No, it's not enough, I'm such a pretty idol. How I wish to tell you from my lips that you have my love. I promise you this, and so I'll lie you but no, I'm praying there's a way. They hold on and I hope that they will come true someday. I'm sorry it's no fun, but I couldn't say the things I meant to you. But it's now finally time. On the count of two, it's no longer a lie. Let me say that it's true, I love you.
At Amica Insurance, we know it's more than just a car or a house. It's the four wheels that get you where you're going, and the four walls that welcome you.
What's up, everybody? Okay. Monday, happy Monday, everybody. It is late. It is late for me, but you know what? I don't give a crap. We're gonna be here for a good while. Okay. Hi, Shy. Hi, Andre. Thank you for claiming the gold. Hell yeah. Okay, today. I feel like. Thank you for the 5 biddies. Okay, today. Gonna do a little reaction for you guys before going to the main event. Think of this as a pre-show to the main event because we are having Smite Mondays today. Yeah, I know that sounds lame, but you know what? It's cool. I don't care that it's lame. I like the title. Anywho, today I have a special guest who's gonna react to me today because so one thing I like to do is my god arms are still janky. I thought that got fixed. Look, okay, so that little surprise. So one thing I'm into. Ah, damn it! What's with the tomatoes, people? Come on, why do you hate me so? Anywho, hold on, give that. There we go. Tomato gone. Look, hi. Why do you bully me so? Anyways, I got a special guest coming in today because we're gonna do a quick reaction for you guys. Now one thing I've always been into is true crime, and today we're gonna react to a true crime story. Okay. So, I found this YouTuber named. Okay, so, let me show you what we're gonna be looking at, people. Give me a second. Switching screens, and I know I need to set this up in advance. Why does it look like this? There we go. This is what we're looking at today. So this is a video by so this is what we're looking at today. It's a video from so I follow this YouTuber called Coffee House Crimes. He's all about true crime stuff. And today we're gonna look at this and today we're gonna look at this story. One involving a man named Stephen Cozy. An Instagram doctor commits almost perfect murder. Almost perfect, which means he did something to fuck up. He almost got away with it, but he did not. But you know what? I cannot do this. I cannot do this without my partner, who I'm gonna bring in right now. Hey, Lenny.
Howdy.
Howdy. You're covering me up, so let me shrink it down. You need to be small. Try to steal my spotlight, huh? Huh?
Indubitably.
All right. Let me go ahead and give you a quick shout out.
I
And
don't know.
yep. How about you take the opportunity to introduce yourself?
Why, hello there. I'm Linny. I am a purple dragon VTuber. I am not your average dragon. I am actually an electric dragon. So instead of breathing fire, I electrocute people.
Yes. Well, that is quite shocking to say.
You're done. You're done.
Yes, I am lame. Hold up.
That was such a dad joke.
Ah, my god. And I broke the immersion by showing the wrong screen. Hold on, let me fix that real quick. So, now Lenny, one thing you and I have in common is that we're into true crime stories. Um, so there we go. So, what got you into true crime?
I don't know. I think it was I saw a really funny video that someone did covering I think it was like an attempted murder and that sounds really bad, but the dude that was doing the commentary specifically said that he was only doing said commentary because it was an attempted murder and had the suspect succeeded he wouldn't have been making the video out of respect for the victim. But it was just like a video where this dude was basically making fun of the suspect trying to kill the victim in like various different ways. And so after that, I started getting into more like real stuff, more like serious kinds of stuff, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like the less comedic stuff and the more like stuff that's related to like realism as far as true crime goes.
Right.
And yeah.
So, alrighty. So today, the video we're gonna be reacting to is the one that you picked out. I already explained everyone. I already gave everybody context. But yeah. But one thing you did point out that is that you know, even though a lot of these doctors do make a good amount of money, they still do content like this. I guess for extra income or just to spread information. I don't know why they do it, um, but yeah, that's what we're gonna be looking at today. You're one of those cases, and this is one of those cases of somebody pretty much like crashing out. I guess I don't know. Alrighty. So let me go ahead and do one last quick setup, and we shall begin. And by the way, I'm already screen sharing with you.
Alright. Yeah, one thing I do want to say is especially if you've been on TikTok, which I personally don't have TikTok because I'd rather be comfortable knowing that the site that I have is gonna stay, so I'm on YouTube. But not me throwing shade at TikTok. But a lot of times on TikTok, especially the side of commentary that I see being made on YouTube, what happens is a lot of different specific I'm gonna use dentists as an example, but there's a lot of different like stuff, not serious stuff like surgeons, but there's a lot of like cosmetic wise, a lot of stuff that people do illegally, like dentistry. I know there was a case where this lady actually got sued um by the board of her district because she was doing dentistry without a proper license. And the person that got that stuff done on her was actually experiencing like a lot of issues and complications because of it. There's also another example, last check, where they just like they go on one online course on like Zoom or Skype, and then they call themselves licensed lash techs or stuff like that. I've seen a lot of those going on, so this is going to be really interesting to see how similar it is.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Especially since you're on a tight schedule. Mhm. Ignore the child.
Yeah, ignore the child. I will try to mute every time he talks, but I'm not psychic, so.
Now, I just want to give a quick reminder that we in the Phoenix Clan do not condone child violence. We do, however, find it hilarious.
We do not condone chucking children, but we will laugh at a chucked child.
Alrighty. Let's begin.
This is Stephen Cozy, and in the heart of a bustling Florida city, his sudden disappearance sent shock and confusion through the community. It was on an ordinary workday when Stephen stepped away from his desk for only a brief moment of time. However, strangely enough, he would never return, and when investigators started looking into this case, they quickly uncovered a mountain of chilling evidence, which all seemed to lead back to the dark underbelly within Stephen's professional circle. An underbelly that no one imagined could exist. But the problem is that with each and every clue that they found, it seemed to lead to more questions than answers. So, who could hold such animosity towards Stephen? And why? Welcome back to Coffee House Crime, folks.
Well, that's what we're here to find out. Oh, Um, let's go ahead and skip the introductions. Yes, this man is somebody I follow. He covers all kinds of true crime stories, and he uploads bi-weekly, I believe. So I will put the on my YouTube page. I will put the his link in the description, and I say go check this guy out. I learned a lot of interesting stories from this guy.
Hey there. You're listening to State of
Stupid
Survival
ads.
Radio. Calling all survivors who can hear this, please.
There we go. Back on track.
So, imagine your typical workday morning routine. You'll drive to the office, put your bags down, make yourself a morning coffee, and then check those emails. Eventually, nature calls, and so you get up from your desk, walk towards the bathroom, and take a short comfort break. And here's the question. How many times have you made that short journey before? Well, if you were to work at the same office for around 6 years and also follow a typical work schedule, then you are likely to use that bathroom around 7,000 times. So, for a man like Stephen Cozy, who worked at Blanchard Law for several
God damn it. The freaking chat is covering his face. I am so sorry, everybody. Um, but hey, that's what editing's for, so I can just put that face over the chat, and boom, we're golden. Uh,
years, that 2-minute break was one that he had made literally thousands of times before. But here's the thing, on March the 21st, 2023, that rather mundane walk would be the last thing that Stephen would ever do. Because after stepping through that bathroom door, Stephen was never seen again. In fact, he had quite literally vanished.
so that door was not leading to the restroom, it led to the Twilight Zone. uh, he was never seen again. He was sent to the dimension of tentacles.
You're done. You're done. You're done.
Who, me or the child?
You're done. You.
After making his way to the restroom, Stephen literally disappeared without a trace. Colleagues were stunned to find his wallet, keys, and phone all neatly arranged beside his computer, suggesting that he had in fact planned to return at any moment afterwards. However, as the minutes turned into hours, confusion grew into concern, and soon, bafflement spiraled into fear as the mystery deepened, each revelation afterward leaving Stephen's peers, friends, and family more unsettled and desperate for answers. So, what precisely happened beyond that door? Well, the truth, they realized, would be far darker and deeper than anyone could have imagined. But before we talk about what happened to him, we should probably get to know Stephen a little more intimately and also realize the situation that he had found himself in. Born and raised with a strong sense
Yeah, it's always good to get to know someone before we can, decide before we get to the juicy stuff. That way we can feel a little more sympathy for them. But there he is. That's his mugshot. This is Stephen Cozy, and I gotta be honest, he does not look like a cozy man at all. In fact, he looks like
He looks like, you know what? He looks like someone he when he tries to comfort people, he's always like, "Oh yeah, no, I would never do that." This, that, and the third. But then he says like the creepiest stuff that no one even thought that he would do. So he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I would never kidnap you and lock you in my basement." Like what? He looks like that kind of person.
yeah, the kind of person who drives a black van with tinted windows.
And has the big words "free candy" on the side.
Of justice and empathy, Stephen pursued a career that came very naturally to him, of course, that being one in law. As a graduate of Stetson University College of Law, he was a chief ambassador and coach to many. Stephen specialized in employment and civil law, and eventually found himself living in Largo, Florida, where, up until the point of this story, he was an attorney at Blanchard Law. For the next 6 years, spanning from the year 2018 to 2024, colleagues described Stephen as thoughtful, approachable, and deeply committed to his clients, often going above and beyond to ensure that their voices were heard.
He sounds like a good man. Go to show you, never judge a book by its cover. Lenny, I have heard stories about guys looking like really, really creepy, but having a reputation of being super nice. So I guess it's not all bad. Wait, why does my screen look like this? There we go.
Outside of work, Stephen was well known for his friendly demeanor and warm personality. He loved his dog, loved to hike, and really enjoyed being with friends and family. As described by his husband, he was brilliant, caring, and loving, with his kindness earning him very strong friendships.
Oh, okay. I did not see that coming. I'm sorry, but he did not look like it. That's why I'm a bit surprised. uh, Still, good for him. Good for him.
So, for Stephen to just suddenly up and disappear was extremely out of character, the total opposite even, and none of his friends or family believed it. In fact, neither did his boss. Over the years, Jake Blanchard, who of course is the owner of Blanchard Law, had more come to see Steve as a good friend rather than a colleague. And so, considering this had happened on his premises and on his watch, he was extremely concerned about his safety. At the time of this happening, Blanchard Law was a company that operated out of a shared office space, which is located on Belcher Road in Largo, Florida. Taking a look at their website, Blanchard Law is a firm that specializes in bankruptcy, tax resolution, contracts, and business law. They are well respected in the community, and for a very good reason too. And you can see here on Google that there are lots of happy customers, all made through their ethical conduct. Looking
And it's in Florida. Huh. Finally, something good came out of that state.
at the building that they operated out of at the time, it was a shared office space with many points of entry. And although there are signs of 1 or 2 cameras, it is worth mentioning here that most of the perimeter is not monitored by CCTV. So, with all of this in mind, what precisely happened to Stephen?
Having your information freely available on the internet makes it easier for anyone to impersonate you online or
That's what happened.
We are ad haters.
Hmm.
We are the ad haters.
Yes, we are.
The date was March the 21st, 2023, and what was considered to be a very typical Tuesday for Stephen would go on to take a very dark turn. It was around 8:30 a.m. that he checked into his role at Blanchard Law, and from here, he settled into his rather familiar role. Stephen was always punctual, organized, and reliable as a colleague. His calendar was packed, emails awaited his response, documents needed reviewing, and to top it all off, he had a very significant conference call timed for 10:30 a.m. You see, there was a lot of contention around this phone call, most notably because it was related to a lawsuit with an ex-colleague of the client that he was representing. and so it makes sense that Stephen was likely well prepared, but also quite nervous. But it is worth saying here that nothing seemed unusual about Stephen's demeanor, and colleagues noted that he appeared calm, focused, and also completely unaware of the events that were soon to unfold. As the morning progressed, the office buzzed with activity. However, at around 10 am, Stephen briefly excused himself to head to the bathroom. He stepped away from his desk, leaving behind his personal items including his phone, wallet, keys, and laptop, signaling that he intended to return rather quickly afterwards. But as the minutes ticked by, Stephen's boss noticed that his absence was unusually long, and then when he failed to dial into that conference call at 10:30 am, well, his colleagues knew that something was up. It is at that
Let's see here. He went to the restroom, disappeared. Um, I'm getting prison rules vibe out of this.
moment in time that colleagues searched for Stephen, but there was no trace of him, and to make matters even stranger, his car remained in the car park completely untouched. And when they checked the bathroom, those concerns would grow even stronger, because not only was Stephen not there, but there were two ominous clues left behind. After walking into the bathroom, they noticed a very strong smell of bleach coming from the air. Not only that, but it appeared that the room had been thoroughly cleaned, or at least mostly thoroughly cleaned, because whoever had done that job seemed to miss a small spot, and in that spot were several droplets of blood.
They always seem to miss a spot. So here's what bugs me though. Steven is a law guy, but the title says Instagram doctor, so I'm just waiting for them to
Yeah,
introduce the guy already.
I don't know where they got the Instagram doctor from if he's a lawyer.
Well, perhaps if we keep watching, we'll find out. But um, I but obviously something's up.
Yeah.
Ominously, all of this was now beginning to feel like a potential crime scene, and so the authorities were called immediately, with officers arriving only a few minutes later. It was at this stage that the Largo Police Department would launch its own investigation, with their initial focus being on the law office and that potential bathroom. Forensic teams combed through the area, searching for any clues that could explain Stephen's sudden disappearance. They would also search for any possible surveillance footage, and they were surprised by what they would find. Investigators checking the surveillance cameras from the building would find footage that revealed a man entering the building around 8:30, who at the time was wearing all black, a backpack, and gloves. And only 2 hours later, that same individual was seen exiting the building, while also pulling a large cart or bin, which appeared to be very heavy.
This this looks like a really small building. Makes me wonder how he was able to get away with all that.
Yeah, I feel like especially if like okay, there had to have been some sort of screaming.
Really?
If there's okay, if there's clearly all right, usually in all of the past murder cases I've seen that unless the person was drugged, if you're trying to fight them and stuff and tussling with them, there's gonna be some sort of screaming. If there's a struggle, there's gonna be some sort of screaming or like grunting or anything. So I find it hard to believe that unless the victim was drugged, that no one could hear anything, especially in a building that small.
Mm. Suffocation is also a possibility, but even then, if there
Yeah, there'd
wasn't,
be like some sort of muffled screams or anything. Unless it was also like maybe a mix of suffocation and strangulation.
yeah, because I'm at walking in, and 2 hours later coming out with possibly a body and cleaning up the crime scene in a small building.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's.
Also, 2 hours. I don't think that was his first time.
Hmm.
It
I
takes
mean,
a while to clean up crime scenes.
he was in the he was in the building for 2 hours, um, but holy wow.
Yeah, we've got to take into consideration how long it could have taken to kill this person, though.
Yep.
Like, I've heard of fights go on for like nearly 30 minutes. So to boil that down, let's just say that it did take 30 minutes to kill the victim. If it took 30 minutes to kill the victim, then it would have taken 1 hour 30 minutes to clean up the mess and get the body in the bag. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible to do that, but even professional crime scene investigators and people that clean up the crime scenes, even they take a while to clean it up, especially if you're going to clean it thoroughly.
Yep. And there's a
Like
game.
much more than 2 hours.
And suddenly I feel like playing crime scene cleaner or what? Wait, what's the name of that game? I think it is crime scene cleaner.
I think it is crime scene cleaner, yeah.
Yeah, I want to play that now.
The man's face was obscured. However, his movements and his attire did raise suspicions. Forensic analysis would also confirm that the strange droplets found in the bathroom were in fact traces of blood. Further examination would also uncover more blood outside of the bathroom, where DNA testing would also confirm that it did belong to Stephen Cozy. This, of course, suggesting that a violent incident had occurred while inside the bathroom. So, at this stage, investigators now had a missing person, an active crime scene, and also footage of a man who could potentially be responsible. But who would want Stephen gone, and why? Well, to answer that question, we must first look at the meeting that he was supposed to attend later that morning, and also the defendant behind that case. And so, on that note, allow me to introduce you to Dr. Tampa Bay.
Yes. Well, apparently the doctor liked guns.
Ear done. Ear done.
So what kind of name is that? Doctor Tampa Bay? Wow.
I've heard worse actually though, so I don't think I've actually heard worse names.
Please let that be just his username.
I completely forgot like the specific names that I've heard, but I've heard some really messed up names that are kind of ironic.
Hmm.
Like imagine having a name that relates to like the law, but like you're a doctor, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Dr. Tampa Bay, who was also known as Tom Kosowski, was a 44-year-old man who was living in the same area. Initially from Tarpon Springs, he received a master's degree from the University of New Mexico, before then attending the Tuck School of Business in Dartmouth. He graduated in the year 2007, where he then became a plastic surgeon. At the time, the Laufer Institute described him as a pioneer in using native fat for breast and buttock enhancement. Not only that, but he was also optimally positioned to become a national leader in the industry.
Oh, this guy's decorated. Man, I bet a lot of people want to go to this guy because he specializes in, um, butts and tits. uh,
I wish I could find the cricket sound, but I can't find it right now.
okay, now you're done.
No, you're done. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, I found it.
I would have bonked you so badly, but you're like out of reach, and I cannot physically move from here. So, uh,
Following the modern trend of social media, it was at that point in time that Dr. Kozlowski turned to YouTube and Instagram to share his many surgeries online, where he posted many videos of himself, his life, and his achievements.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Tampa Bay. Today I wanted to talk about tear trough deformities. Now tear trough deformities are these. You can see them very, very prominently on me here on this side. These are one of the very, very first signs of aging in late 20, early 30-year-olds. And a very
I'm looking in the mirror right now. Oh God, I'm old.
I'm still useful.
Lucky.
common way that plastic surgeons deal with this problem is by injecting filler. Hello, my social media army. This is Dr. Tampa Bay. We've had some awesome cases this week. If they're still up, check them out on Snapchat. As you can tell, the latest trend in plastic surgery is to put in these ultra high profile implants, and you saw us put in the Mentor device as well as the Allergan device into patients this week.
You can tell from his videos that Tom was very proud of his work. It was
I mean, he enhances boobies for a living, so of course, he'd be proud of it. Lenny, don't you dare think about enhancing yours because yours are perfect. uh, hold on, let me make it bigger so all can see. You see that, people? You see that? That's a wonderful pair, and you're all jealous.
You're done.
uh, oh, hold on, you're too small. Let me make it a little bigger. There you go.
in the year 2018 that he founded his own business practice, where he would then go on to receive national recognition and be featured in multiple books and even a packet of chips. Through the following years, Tom was very active on social media and would often
So this guy was practically a celebrity. Holy wow! You you know how good you have to be at something in order to become a celebrity? Yeah, this guy. Okay, I'll give him that.
I
He's really
mean,
good with this.
it's a mixture of being good professionally, and then you also have to be good looking.
Good, yeah, good looks apparently play a factor.
Yeah.
celebrate his achievements along the way, as you can see here.
Hi, Instagrammers. I just wanted to let you all know we hit 4,000 followers last night, which is awesome. Thank you so much for all your love and support. You guys mean the world to us. Please encourage.
The first red flag should have been that he says Instagrammers. That should have been the very first red flag.
Oh, red
Who
flag of what?
says Instagrammers?
I thought that was a thing, isn't it?
I've never heard anyone call their Instagram audience Instagrammers. I've heard of YouTubers, TikTokers, streamers. I've never in my life heard of an Instagrammer.
Well, I've heard of Instagramma, but that's a whole other thing.
Instagrammer. An Instagrammer. Fancy.
uh,
Hit 5,000. We're going to have a huge party and a big giveaway here.
But here is the problem. You see, Tom was so proud of his work that he would never let anyone say anything negative about it. And this is where his issues began to spiral. Initially working for the Laufer Institute in 2016,
wow. Okay, I don't know if saying Instagrammer was a genuine red flag, but you did catch it. And based on what he just said, this guy does seem a bit narcissistic.
Yeah, he doesn't want. He only wants. Okay. Some part of me would argue that it's just the fact that he doesn't want his reputation ruined. But your reputation wouldn't be ruined by like a couple small things.
Nope. I mean, when you're famous or at least doing content, you have to be open to criticism because that's a part of it.
Yeah, if you're not open to criticism, people start seeing you as fake because that's what you are, fake.
Mm-hmm.
he ran into trouble when the woman assigned to complete his insurance billing would then fail to file claims and even lie to his patients. As a result, this not only cost him thousands of dollars, but it would also result in several extremely negative reviews of him being posted online. Tom believed that the woman's actions had essentially obliterated his promising young career, and so it was for that reason that he decided to leave the company and then sue them for damaging his reputation. As a result, he
Once again, you called it.
filed a lawsuit against all people associated with the Laufer Institute of Plastic Surgery for negligence, breach of contract, and fraudulent misrepresentation. And this would be where Stephen Cozy eventually came into the picture. Stephen, who worked at Blanchard Law, was on the other side of the legal fence, representing and defending all of those from the Laufer Institute. And of course, this would place him directly in conflict with Tom Kosowski. The legal dispute between Tom, Stephen, and the Laufer Institute was marked by escalating tensions, which of course only got worse over time. In fact, reports indicate that, in January of 2023, an argument between Tom and Stephen would erupt in Blanchard Law's common area, and so many people saw that the two quite clearly had beef between each other. And you see, but not only did this highlight Tom's frustration with Stephen, but it would also prove that he had been to Blanchard Law before, and therefore likely knew the office's layout. And to make matters even worse, an employee from a neighbouring company who was situated in the same building reported seeing Tom hiding in the closet next to that bathroom only 1 week before Stephen's disappearance.
I
Dang, so this dude is just screwed. He got motive, and people saw him at the scene of the crime.
yeah, but not only that, but the fact that the victim was hiding in the closet. I'm resisting the urge to make a joke out of that.
Okay, if he's hiding, if he was caught hiding in the closet, he must not have hid well at all.
uh,
This, of course, suggesting that Tom was scoping out the area in advance so he could then plan to attack Stephen. In addition to this, forensic analysis would also reveal that Tom's fingerprints were found inside of the utility closet, therefore adding weight to the theory that he had been hiding in the building, and then possibly waiting for an opportunity to confront Stephen.
oh no! Oh, it was actually the doctor who was hiding in the closet. Yeah, I misheard that. Sorry, everybody. I misheard.
With mounting suspicions, the authorities decided to obtain a search warrant for Tom's house and his vehicle, and moving forward, what they found was not good news for him. For one, detectives would discover traces of Stephen's blood inside Tom's garage, and also in the bed of his pickup truck, both of which seemed to be mixed with Tom's DNA. Of course, this suggesting a potential attempt to clean up or dispose of the evidence. And speaking of garage, it seems that Tom had purchased a red.
Why does he pronounce it like that? It's isn't it garage? But he's saying garage. uh,
Or
Just an
dispose of
accent.
yeah, I think it's just an accent thing.
the evidence. And speaking of garage, it seems that Tom had purchased a red Toyota Corolla in cash only weeks before Stephen's disappearance. Not only that, but he would never register the vehicle, instead equipping it with a license plate flipping device, and even using an old license plate that was registered to a dead person. Even worse, when they found him in another vehicle, he was found to be in possession of $280,000 in cash, multiple face masks, duct tape, firearms, a ballistic vest with a substantial amount of blood on it, and
Yep, there's all the equipment. And oh, he's carrying one of those like V for Vendetta masks. Ugh. It's always a bad sign when you see somebody carrying one of those around.
a vial and loaded syringe full of succinylcholine, a powerful paralytic agent.
Well, there's the answer, Lenny. He used a paralyzing agent to stop screaming and whatnot. Um, if I can make a prediction here, I'd say he used this to paralyze Steven and then just beat him to death. That's my theory on this.
A search of his
That seems accurate.
home would
He could
also
have, yeah. I feel like he probably like sneakily administered the
Hmm.
stuff so that he wouldn't scream, which is kind of concerning because it's like now you're using your doctor skills, your medical skills to kill people.
I mean, they could. I mean, there have been a lot of doctors throughout history who got away with murder. And
Another thing is he could have completely used he could have completely used what's it called? He could have completely used an empty syringe with just air in it to kill him, but he didn't.
yeah, but
He went intentionally on the violent route.
triggering a seizure using that method could actually take a while, and I guess he wanted to do it quickly.
Sometimes it doesn't even trigger a seizure. Sometimes it's just a blood clot, and then instantly, like a few minutes after the blood clot forms, then it's game over,
And yet,
lights out.
that never seems to occur to anyone.
Yeah, like brain aneurysm. Like not a lot of times it has to be a seizure.
Hmm.
Like sometimes people can even have signs of stroke
True.
instead of seizures.
Well,
So
putting
it
air,
really just depends on how much air and what kind of person it is.
yeah, blowing air into the bloodstream often does trigger seizures.
Yeah, but like I've it's not as common as you might think actually. The
Mm.
seizure part.
cow
But then
urine.
again, no one just goes around blowing air into people's bloodstream, so
That is true.
A powerful paralytic agent. A search of his home would also uncover approximately 200 firearms, which is a little obsessive if you ask me, but of course he could simply have been a collector.
The turmeric is oil soluble, which means it's
Ah,
not going to absorb in the lining of your gut very well. Now, some
So, although the direct evidence was quite limited, the circumstantial evidence available was rather compelling. And when detectives attached this to all of the items they had found, not only in the car but also the garage, they would come up with their own plausible theory. Now, I do have to point out here that all of this is merely alleged and seen through the prosecution's eyes, as Tom is yet to stand trial. But the prosecution believes that, due to his ever-growing resentment towards Stephen and also the legal dispute, Tom decided to murder him in cold blood. They assume that Tom entered Blanchard Law early in the morning and then decided to hide in the utility closet next to the bathroom in anticipation of Stephen. Of course, this explaining his thumbprint. When Stephen entered the bathroom, Tom then followed shortly after, before violently attacking him, and this explains the blood splatter found inside. After paralyzing Stephen, he then transported his body to his truck using a wheelie bin, this explaining the surveillance footage. After that, Tom would clean the bathroom, which explained the smell of bleach. It is only around half an hour later that a random license plate reader would capture Tom's truck near his own home.
well,
oh my
that's a,
goodness, a huge mistake that I see people do when I clean up blood is bleach. Don't use bleach. It doesn't actually clean as good as you think it does.
I mean, it
It
does
just
give.
leaves behind a very noticeable smell. And when they go back over with that UV light, they will see splotches of blood still.
Yeah, it doesn't get rid of it doesn't get rid of I mean, it gives her the surface stains, like it makes it invisible to the
Yeah,
naked
but
eye,
like
but
you won't see the color, but it doesn't get rid of the bacteria.
it doesn't. Um,
If
but
you like turn on a UV light and like scan over it, you can still see like all the bacteria.
judging by his
Now I'm
motive,
not gonna tell y'all how to clean it up because y'all gonna be out here turning into serial killers and be like, "Yo, Lenny told me how to." No, we're not doing that.
nope.
I will not be an accessory to anyone. But all I'm gonna say is bleach is your worst mistake because it leaves behind a very, very noticeable smell and does hardly any work except for cleaning up the appearance to the naked eye.
Yep. And judging by the method of killing, also, it was his motivation was clearly anger. Um,
Yeah, it was clearly like revenge based.
yeah, because like he was representing the company that Tom was suing, so it would make sense to want to get rid of him. Um, but one thing he did not take into account is that he works for a law firm. Somebody else could just represent the company.
True.
And ominously, it appeared that that license plate reader captured an image of what appeared to be a body in the bed of that truck. The same license plate reader then detected the truck leaving the neighborhood around 5 hours later. Another license plate reader would then capture the truck in Miami, which is located around 300 miles away. On March the 25th, 2024, and only 4 days after the attack, Tom was officially arrested and charged with first-degree murder. And despite all of the evidence available, albeit circumstantial,
Okay, I'm sorry, but I need to criticize the prison uniform here. I don't see a prisoner. I see a black belt in karate. Like he's like, he doesn't look like he's going to jail. He looks like he's about to like participate in a fight or something.
He said everybody was kung fu fighting.
Everybody was fast as lightning. Great. Now I want to watch Kung Fu Panda. Thanks a lot.
Oh my goodness, I have one of the Kung Fu Pandas. I think I have that exact song on my playlist.
Uh, it is a good song. Not gonna lie.
It is.
he pleaded not guilty. As a result, Tom will have to go to trial. The prosecution has since indicated their intention to seek the death penalty, citing their confidence that this was premeditated murder. To this day, Stephen's body has never been found. Nobody knows where he could be or how precisely he died. Interestingly, court documents have revealed that Thomas's phone records led police officers with cadaver dogs to a dumpster, which was then emptied into the Collier County landfill. Another document states that footage taken from a garbage truck shows a large garbage bag falling in a manner consistent with a wrapped human body. So, it appears that officers may go down the route of assuming that Thomas murdered Stephen and then disposed of his body all the way down in Collier County. This would make a lot of sense too, as we know that his vehicle was then spotted in Miami the following day, with Collier County being on the way. Another theory is that Stephen's body may have been dumped in the Everglades National Park. And let's be honest, this is a very tough part of America when looking for a corpse. There is also another
Oh yeah, he really got this through.
big problem with
He
this case.
definitely had and all of the intentions on doing this previously, which like I feel like it's so dumb when criminals do this because it's so clear that it was done out of spite or anger because because he's a doctor, he understands how an air embolism would affect someone. But instead of going the easy route of killing them, he went through the more painful, physically exacerbating route. Because if he'd already administered the anesthetic to him, then he could have just simply slipped air into the anesthetic. If you're understanding what I mean.
True.
Because like I've actually while we were watching this, I've actually looked up the symptoms of an air embolism and like paralysis comes along with it. So he wouldn't have even had to use the anesthetic. If he just wanted to kill him, he would have just done it the easier route. But he decided that he was gonna use his bare hands essentially.
Hmm.
Of America when looking for a corpse. There is also another big problem with this case. Not only was Stephen's body never found, but he was never seen leaving the building either. And so, although it makes sense to assume that Thomas may have taken him out, the last actual sighting of Stephen or his body was when he was alive entering the bathroom. In addition to this, there are so many other questions remaining. For example, why on earth would Thomas murder an attorney over a mere $15,000 civil case? Quite honestly, it makes no sense to a logical and rational person.
The only thing that I can think of as to why he would go through with this is, as we stated before, he is a narcissist, and he possibly acted out of either pride or spite.
Yeah, definitely spite.
And I don't think he had anything against Steven personally. He just attacked him simply because he was the lawyer representing the hospital in this case.
Yeah, but some police officers would view it as pretty personal only because of the way that he killed him.
Yep.
On March the 29th, 2023, a quiet yet powerful gathering formed to honour Stephen, where friends, family, and colleagues all stood together, filled with sorrow and love. Organised by the St. Petersburg Bar Association, the vigil celebrated Stephen's kindness, compassion, and dedication to justice. Michael Montgomery, who is Stephen's husband, warmly shared many personal memories, highlighting Stephen's humour, humanity, and passion for supporting the underdog. One by one, friends and colleagues shared their heartfelt reflections and emphasized his profound impact on their lives.
One of the coolest things about this whole or that's come out of this tragedy is that I've gotten to basically meet my husband again by seeing pictures that I didn't know existed and learning about things that I didn't know he did. And I'm incredibly grateful.
And so, with all said and done, we will just have to wait and see how Tom's trial goes. Now, personally, given all of the circumstantial evidence available, I do think that there is a possibility that Tom will be found guilty, but maybe his defense has a few tricks up their sleeve.
Wait. This happened like 2 years ago, and the trial's still ongoing. God damn! How long does these things usually
That's
last?
how it
Jeez.
happens a lot of times. That's how it happens a lot of times. because what happens is, like, especially if the suspect doesn't want to plead guilty, it drags it out even longer because it takes, I don't know why, but a lot of times it takes, oh, like months to gather enough evidence and stuff like that, and then it takes months to schedule it because there's other people going to jail, and then just stuff like that.
Ah, but it sounds to me like he's delaying the inevitable, though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I said, although we technically have a motive, we don't actually have a body. Now, is it just me, or do you think there is more to this story that we don't quite know yet? Because honestly, this is just one of the wildest reasons ever. Stephen was merely doing his job, and it's not like Blanchard Law was the offending party either. They were the ones defending their
Bless you.
clients. So perhaps
Thank you.
Stephen actually knew more than we currently do. As always, this will eventually iron out. To make this case a little more complicated, all of Tom's friends have described him as friendly, gentle, and not impulsive. All of his alleged behaviour is way out of character, and nobody had a single bad thing to say about him. So, did Tom snap, or do they have the wrong person? In the last few days, recently released documents have also highlighted several interesting facts which will likely be brought to trial. Although we can't tell what was found in these documents, to me, this sounds like a kill kit in the making, but I could be very wrong here.
Why is filing your taxes with Free Tax USA different? Well, for starters,
Well, there's always that possibility. I mean, but then again, the evidence is like overwhelming, so there's no way they got the wrong guy.
Camerino said a good strategy for the defense may be to plead guilty to get the death penalty off the table. Kozowski's attorney spoke to press after his client first appeared in court in March.
Keep an open mind. These are very, very serious charges. He's presumed innocent as he's currently sitting in jail. We're conducting our own investigation, and as it develops, we'll try to keep you updated.
In a motion to dismiss the case, Kozowski's attorney suggested Causey's disappearance may have been his own doing. The defense is stressing that Kozowski has not been convicted.
And he's presumed innocent despite the nature of the charges.
I was floored. I know Dr. Tom on a casual basis, have met him a couple times, chatted with him, socialized with him, and I'm just floored. I used to be a homicide investigator. I can't imagine what motive he would have to hurt anyone.
It is now reported that Tom's trial will begin in merely a week's time on April the 17th. And of course, if there are any updates to this case, I will let you know in a future video. But for now, folks, I think I'll wrap this video up here. And so with that said, thank you so much for watching today. I really...
Alright, let's head back to the bar. Alright, so as of us recording this, this is the 14th. So the trial is set for 3 days from now. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But Lenny, what do you think of this overall? This case overall?
I think that this case is kind of I'm kind of on the fence because it's like the way they, okay, I don't mean to like I don't mean to like gossip or anything, but it kind of feels like that title seemed kind of like not clickbaity, but like kind of.
What do you mean?
Because like, of course, we have the Instagram doctor part, right? But the fact that it didn't really play much into the story, it was just like, it felt like it was more of like, oh, he has Instagram, so this is that, and that's this, instead of like he was actively on Instagram every single day, posting like this, that, and the third. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yep, I get what you're saying.
Like it felt more like they found that out later, because I doubt it had anything. I doubt it had no pertinence to the story. Like he could have been a exclusively AC guy. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm not gonna say the word because I know this is going on YouTube, and YouTube doesn't like that word.
No, they don't.
So like it could have been that he did that instead of Instagram, but I feel like it's just they would have added that anyways. It didn't really matter what he did. It just mattered that he did something outside of being a doctor. You know?
Mm-hmm. But
Like I kind of expected it to have more pertinence to the story. Like he posted this, he posted on Instagram, he's gonna kill this dude, this that, and the third, and I'm just sitting here like, but like if I was just to watch him on Instagram, I think that he was normal if I didn't see all the crime scene stuff.
hmm. Well, he did post on Instagram regularly. Otherwise, he wouldn't have so many followers.
Yeah, but like the thing is, in in court, a lot of times it's a battle of like pertinence, and I feel like him having Instagram was not at all pertinent because, to
Mhm.
our knowledge, he didn't post anything regarding his murder. So
Oh no, he wouldn't. If he, I mean, anyone who's intelligent and calculated would not post that on social media. And I've seen a few stupid ass criminals who've actually done that and basically dug their own graves. Um, One of my favorite examples was this couple who committed like a petty robbery. They robbed a bank. Okay, so nothing too big, but here's the hilarious part. The same day after they robbed the bank, the girlfriend posted a video on YouTube bragging about it.
yeah,
Even
no. See, personally, if I was gonna do a crime, I'm not gonna post it all over the internet. I'm gonna move in the shadows.
as one should. I mean, come on. She, I mean, she described how it went down and even showed off the money they stole. Dumbass.
Wow, that's crazy. Idiot.
Ooh, I think next time when you have the time, we should react to stupid criminals. Those are always my favorite stories.
Oh my goodness, those are always funny too. Because it's always like this most preventable things. Like they could have easily not gotten caught, and then it's like 3 years down the line, the police officers see this on their story. Like, bro, you would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for your big mouth.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like I always say, humans and species are a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Um, well, unfortunately, due to your current schedule, we don't have time to react to another one, but we can use up the remaining time to just stay here and chat.
All right.
How much longer?
Yeah, I do gotta go. This is actually perfect timing though. I do gotta go. And also, there's like a baby drooling down my arm, like down my shirt right now. So I've gotta lay him down too, since he's finally gone to sleep.
Aw, he's nomming you. That's cute.
No, no, it's not cute when they got teeth.
All right. Well, any
And he's laughing. Wow. Okay.
well, I appreciate you taking the time to join me for this. Ho- hopefully, and I want to do this with you more often. So hopefully we can schedule more time.
All right.
All right. So I guess well, you have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow for the podcast. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, that was my good friend Lenny. Anybody, please give her a follow. I already give her a shout out right there. Um, alrighty. So now it's time to change gears because I did say that today was Smite Monday, so let me go ahead and do some editing, edit everything out. Let's see here. Stream title. Change stream title. There we are. All right. All right. YouTube is set. Now for Twitch. There we are. Hold up. Gotta change the category too. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, we are all set. The tags are set. Everything's set. Ugh. Hmm. Hey. All right. Oh, hold up. Hmm. Alrighty. We're all good to go. We're all set. But if you'll excuse me, I'll be right back. I gotta grab some water and prepare myself. Alright, and I have returned. I have returned. Alright. Alright. Now we're just booting up the game. Any minute now. Come on, Smite. I already updated you. Don't do this to me now. Don't be a prick. Don't be a douche. Mm-hmm. Still loading. God, it's taking a while. Hmm. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Okay, people. Alright, people. Alright, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Alright. Smite is loading up. Rain! I thought you were EP! Ah, the Made in Georgia logo. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's move some things around. Okay. Ice cream. Now I'm hyper. Freaking rain. Let's. Ah, you're such a little cutie patootie. I love you. Ice cream makes everything better. But I don't have any ice cream. I wish I had ice cream. I want ice cream. Wah, wah, I want ice cream. Hold on, the game seems a bit loud. Damn. Ray is really happy today. Shit, that's a lot. Yeah, I think I need to turn down the volume a bit. Hold up. Alright. Oh, look at that little cute toasty little thing. Look, that's too cute. Too cute. Hear the cuteness. Hear the cuteness. Oh. I see they brought back the bunny outfit from the last game. Run, run as fast as you can. Can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. All right. Are you guys ready for the battle of the gods? Yeah, of course you are. Although there is a character I want to try out. I need to check out his role. This guy. Yep, this badass. This badass motherfucker right here. Hmm. Well, that's Lord. Hmm. All right, what's his role? What is he? He is a tank, apparently. God damn, this guy looks like a fucking badass. His skin is even better. All right. If he's a tank, that would make him a support type. All right, let's prioritize support. All right, people, let's do this. Now we just need to wait it out. Be here, cuteness. Oh, Rainy, you're gonna have a field day with this game because okay, while we wait for the game to start, look at all this. Look at this. Man, you all need to play this game. Okay, it's freaking good, and they're adding more and more gods each day. Oh, they just added Merlin. All right. Wait, did they add a new god though? Hold on, I'm looking for her right now. Oh, I thought I already started the queue. I guess not. All right, let's try again. Cue it up. Hmm. I think she's the most recent one. Maybe I don't know. I can't remember. I can't tell.
Select your god.
All right. Here he is. All right. Oh, let's get the background music going. Right with me? Ah, perfect. Let's turn it up a little bit. There we go. Hmm.
Hi, I guess. Good luck.
Greetings, fellow protector. May the gods of battle favor us on this day.
Woohoo! Yay! So
Mm.
much enthusiasm.
I apologize. That was not my intention.
You owe me.
Oh, that's a lot to edit.
No.
I apologize. That was not my intention. No.
Hmm.
Out of mana.
Easy there, buddy. Game hasn't started yet.
Please.
Help!
No.
Help!
Minions have
Help! Help!
Oh, he escaped. Alright, alright. Has it been 30 seconds yet? I don't know if has been 30 seconds. Oh, there's a timer up there. I can just use that. Let me stay a little bit longer. Now. No, 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 you don't. Ah! Not going anywhere near here. Hmm. Hmm. I got the booster. You did without me. Screwed me out of potential experience points, but that's cool. So, for some reason that didn't work. Okay. Don't quite have enough of that. That's alright. It's alright. I'll stick with what I got. Yeah, we got him. Bam, 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 bam. All right, there we go. There we go. Ah, no, 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 no. You can't hit me. Whoops, why did I do that? No, no. Damn it, I was hoping to get a kill. That was a high risk, that was a high risk maneuver. It was not worth it in the end.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Oh man, still on cooldown. Okay.
Is under attack. Your left tower is under attack. An enemy has been slain.
You've got style. Almost as much as me.
An enemy has
All right, let me get some more experience out of these guys. And we got ourselves a dead harpy. There we are. Thank you. Oh my god. Thank you, SiriBot. You're actually.
enemy missing middle.
Haha, there you go. Holy mother fuck! That was. God damn! That was badass. Shit, he got away. Yeah, I'm not gonna survive.
Your left tower is under attack.
Yes, double kill.
Double kill. Your left tower is under attack.
Kind of both. Oh no, 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 no. Must escape. Ah, guess not. Didn't happen. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Your right tower is under attack. Your right tower is under attack. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a left enemy tower.
Hmm.
An ally has been slain.
Okay.
Unstoppable. Your middle tower is under attack.
All right, looks like we're in the mid game now.
Your right tower is under attack. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Get mine.
Ah, you gotta be kidding me. I missed. And he was right there too. Oh boy. Hmm?
The day of reckoning is at hand.
Ooh, gold. Oh, you're supposed to run through him. There we go.
An enemy has been slain.
And teleported to that side. What purpose to serve? I don't know, but I'm just doing whatever at this point. Okay, okay. Come on, we're almost there. Oh, shit. Feel the minions. Ah. You know, I think my ultimate would have been great at this point. This did not occur to me. Ah. Wow, okay. Hmm. Okay. All right. Oh, now we're getting pumping. Now we're pumping. Anybody else feeling pumped? Because I sure am. Oh, another one. Because all I had to do was wait. Welcome back for you later, buddy. We're gonna go ahead and steal your buffs. Thank you. Yes! And now we run. What was that, like 4 of them? I think 4 of them got on me just now. That is just wow. All right. All right, we revive in 5 seconds. 5 more seconds. And we shall return to the revival point. Let's go. Why is it zoomed in like that? There we go, much better.
Defend the Gold Fury. Defend the Gold Fury.
Yeah, there was nothing I could have done on my own. Oh, we got one. All right, we took out most of them, and I'm still pretty under leveled. I need to step up my game here. Much better. See? Hey, what's this do? That was completely pointless. Oh, got blasted a couple of times, but that's cool. Yeah. Whoa. Somehow became transparent. Ah. No! We do not surrender! We shall not surrender! Not here! No freaking way we're gonna surrender here. Nope. We fight on because we are strong. Man, we somehow lost the entire team.
Your left tower is under attack. An enemy has been slain.
See you, Manticore. Hello. Oh, we got Manticore powers.
Killing spree. Shut down.
Poison, poison, poison to all.
Double kill. Shut down. Triple kill. Killing spree. Your team has destroyed the Pyramid. Your team has destroyed a right enemy tower. Shut down. Your right tower is under attack.
I stole your egg.
Your right tower is under attack.
I didn't know where to place it. And hopefully... Oh, hello. Okay, that's a nope.
Right tower is under attack.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. And bam, got him. Ultra combo. No, you're not getting away from me, boy. You are not getting away from me. And he got away from me. That's a bummer. And you know, I totally forgot I got some eggs on me. Those eggs would have been very useful right now. Why am I talking like this? So weird. And victory is ours. Oh, somehow I didn't see you there. Why did I not see you there? Action! 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 I'm just here. Oh, jeez. Oh, so, excuse me. Wow. Damn it, sneeze. Sneeze a lot. That's cool. That's alright. That's alright. That's all okay. Alright, back in the game. Wow, I claimed victory a little too early, but...
Your left tower is under attack.
Oh my god. Yeah, nothing we can do. The left tower is gone. Shit. Ah, shit, 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 shit. Nope, 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 no, 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 no. Help, 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 help. Wait, we won? Yeah, we did. Holy wow. Well, everybody, damn, that was pretty sneaky. That was really, really sneaky. Nice. Is the coin good for anything? I don't see what I can spend my coins on though. Spoke too soon. I guess that's where I spend it. Okay, that is adorable. Adorable little foxy girl right here. Available coins. Wait. Did I? Okay, that's kind of cute. Of course, I can get some currency. It's not letting me for some reason. Okay, I think it's the issue. You would think it would let me buy everything else because I've been earning this stuff. How about this whole page? Look like I have enough. Jeez. Hmm. How long do I have for this? I don't see a time limit anywhere, but I know this is only temporary. What's for a really cool skin, though? Supposed to look for eggs, but I didn't find any. I didn't find any. How did they expect me to look for find something? All right, here we go. So they expect me to pay $20 for each of these passes. So what I'm getting off of this right now is that this is basically their battle pass right now. Buy everything here. Not even buy anything else though. Got the school night. Got the school skin though. How did I buy that skin though? How did I get it? Because according to this, oh, it's locked. I thought I already had it. Yeah, never mind. Ah, but I need to get a cool ass Sonic skin though. I mean, I swear, everybody looks so good in black and gold. Look at that. That's pretty. That's fucking badass. Everybody looks in black and gold. Look at that. Black and gold is an excellent combo. It's an awesome ass combo. You can't deny that. There's absolutely no denying that. So you gotta keep playing through the game, I guess. All right, let's start the next one. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Uh. Boy, I'm a little elevated now. Sorry, I'm just lost in thought, everybody. Just lost in thought. All right. Hate to do this to you all, but something just came up that demands my attention. So I really hate to call it early, but IRL does take priority. So yeah, I'm really sorry. So got the call here. Let me see. Let me see. Who do we pass on the love to though? I know. Let's uh let's all chill out for a bit, shall we? And I know a perfect one to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and raid out to Caledonia, who's currently doing some ASMR. So if you guys are having trouble sleeping, hopefully her soothing voice will help you out with that. All right. So until next time, everybody. Um, take care and stay safe, okay?